What's up, everyone, and welcome to the FemSlam Podcast B-Sides, where we have in-depth analytical conversations about the world of wrestling and our favorite wrestlers. Join us as we passionately dive into the art of wrestling and have detailed discussions while setting aside our fan-based biases. I'm Vio.
And I'm Mads.
And we thank you for joining us. So as you all can see, we are short one person. Toni could not be with us because they're currently getting medical stuff done. We wish them well. Hope everything's okay. But for now, you get me and Mads. Yay! So, I think I can say with quite a bit of confidence, AEW's had a banger couple of weeks.
They have.
I feel like I say that with a good amount of confidence.
Really a banger couple months, but...
Honestly. But, like, the past couple weeks specifically, like the past 2 weeks specifically, have been bangers for AEW. The first of which, Double or Nothing, which I think anyone who watched Double or Nothing will agree when I say was an absolute movie.
From beginning to end, like...
Beginning to end. Well, I was going to say no skips, but like maybe the Hurt Syndicate match.
Which is super frustrating because, you know, I expect a whole lot more from Bobby and Shelton, but...
Yeah, I think it's just because MJF is there.
Well, also, I think that they aren't really being showcased as like this super dominant.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I mean? Like, they're winning matches in a dominant fashion, but they're not like wrecking people. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. No.
Like, the match with Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara was too close in my... You know what I mean?
It was
like
something.
Realistically, they shouldn't have had a chance.
No. Because you're... Because why is Dustin Rhodes getting the jump on you? Why are you having a match against Dustin Rhodes? And it's close.
Why are you having a match against Sammy Guevara and it's close?
I'm just saying Dustin Rhodes because...
Like, you're worried about Dustin, which Dustin can hoop, but like...
But Dustin's also old, bruh.
I know.
That man got grandchildren.
Sammy is like 100 and something pounds soaking wet.
That's true. But anyway, moving off of that, which the rest of the matches on that card.
Yeah, no skips.
Cinema. Absolute cinema. Which one do we want to start off with first? Because I know which one we're saving for last. Where do we want to start?
Do we start off with the opener, Mercedes and Jamie?
You know what? Why not? We'll just go in order, I guess. Okay. Some order. Some semblance of order. But yeah. The non-title Owen Hart Cup final between the Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. I know you and I talked about, like, you know, how these Owen Hart Cup finals were going to go between the men and the women. Like, I know you and I definitely speculated some interference was possibly happening, but...
Yeah, we all kind of thought that Athena was going to happen, but then Athena, you know, posted on Twitter earlier in the day and was like, I'm not there, and, like, had proof that she was not there, so it was like, oh, it's...
Well, which, you know, I would have liked to see her there, but the match banged regardless.
Yeah.
Because Mercedes and Jamie had been on each other's ass before.
And I think a lot of people woke up to how good Jamie Hayter actually is. Like, she's been slept on for a very long time, and I'm so glad that people are seeing her for how she really is.
I hope that just because she didn't win, I do hope that there's more for Jamie Hayter down the line. I hope that it also woke up Tony Khan's eyes to how good she is, and that she deserves to be on people's TV more. She deserves to be wrestling more.
Well, I mean, she did get attacked by debuting Toxic Spider, so... She
did get attacked by... Is it Tekla? Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully there's something with that, because... Oh my God.
I hope so, too.
That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now we have the other tag team match between FTR, Danny Garcia, and Nigel McGuinness.
Which, look, I knew from the jump that Danny and Nigel were not winning. They did Nigel so dirty, though. Like, they did him so dirty. It's like... Poor Nigel. Like, this man comes back to the ring and this is what happens. Like, welcome back, dude. Here's some broken ribs for the road. Like, you know what I mean?
Not just I mean, we love you heart and soul, but my God.
It played out exactly as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, no, they got their asses whooped.
Yeah, it played out exactly as I thought it would.
And then, on the Dynamite afterwards, we have Don Callis stepping up to Danny Garcia being like, hey, drop Daddy Magic right now. Mind you, they've had such a long, complicated relationship, Danny Garcia and Daddy Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You have enough. Don Callis, this is the greed they talked about in the Bible. I need you to stop.
Okay,
you have enough.
I wouldn't mind Danny Garcia being a part of the Don Callis family.
How many people are in the Don Callis family now?
A lot.
Exactly. It's enough.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like,
there's a line.
And the line goes after Danny Garcia.
All right.
Because, you know, like, I feel like Danny would benefit so much from being in the Don Callis family.
Honestly, if it gets him out of that atrocious yellow gear, I'm here for it.
He would benefit so much.
How do you?
I mean, now granted, there would be competition between him and Kyle for the TNT title, but
sometimes a little infighting in the family is healthy, you know.
Well, they're already infighting, so.
Oh yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that part. We'll just add a little more, you know. A little more never hurt anybody. It might hurt somebody, but like it might. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. The stretcher match.
Okay. So I have to talk about this for a second because
go ahead.
This was probably one of the matches aside from the main event that I was the most excited for, because the last time I watched a stretcher match was 2006 Matt and Jeff Hardy. That was the last stretcher match I've ever seen.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, and I could be wrong here, but I think that's the last time that stipulation was ever done.
They've had a lot of ambulance matches, but I don't think there was.
But not stretcher matches.
Stretcher, no. Because I know they did one. They had an ambulance match at Halloween Havoc for NXT.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I can't think of a stretcher match off the top of my head. Watch, there's gonna be comments be like, actually, it happened.
Which, cool, fact check us. But to my knowledge, that was the last actual like stretcher match. So I was very excited for it. I did think Mark Briscoe was going to win that match.
I'm pretty sure everyone did.
Yeah, it felt like that they were giving Ricochet a lot of like minuscule wins over, over random people.
Yeah.
And so in my eyes, I was like, okay, they're giving him a lot of wins so he can take this loss at this pay-per-view. Nope. Like,
no. I also loved that Mark Briscoe started growing his hair out so he wouldn't.
Yeah. Mark Briscoe is a national treasure. I
protect Mark Briscoe at all costs.
At all costs. At all costs.
He grew out his hair so he wouldn't be lumped in as bald as Ricochet. So it wouldn't be bald versus bald. I love that for him. That man was bleeding buckets.
Dude, yeah, I was just about to say that blade job was nasty.
One thing about Mark Briscoe, he
commits. He commits.
One thing about Mark Briscoe, exactly. 110% he commits. Like, if you give that man a chance to blade, he's taking it. Every time. Even if you don't give him a chance to blade, he's going to somehow be bleeding.
He's gonna, somehow. Just for the love of the game. And honestly, I respect the hell out of it.
Speaking of Mark Briscoe, I really just want to talk about. I want to talk about Anarchy in the Arena. I know it's not next on the card, but like, he did make an appearance. He made an appearance.
Yeah.
Towards the end. Anarchy in the Arena. If you don't watch AEW at all.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
And did they ever? Did they ever? But like, if you don't feel like sitting through all of Double or Nothing, at least watch Anarchy in the Arena. I beg of you.
It was so good. This is probably in my opinion, this is probably the best Anarchy in the Arena that they ever have done.
It was so beautiful. Because what do you mean? The match started with Revolutionary War music playing in the background because of Matt and Nick coming out in Founding Father gear.
I love them. You know,
I love my EPs.
Toni isn't here, so I can sit here and glaze.
Yeah, you
the Young
go
Bucks.
ahead.
Toni isn't here, so I can glaze the Young Bucks. No, them coming out in the I don't even know what it's called.
I just called it Founding Fathers gear. I don't.
Yeah, the Revolutionary War coats and all that kind of stuff.
I half expected them to have wings.
I wish they would have, but you know what? Anyways, yeah, they come out to this like what's it called? This flute music. Like, oh my god, iconic. Beautiful, you can't ever look at the Bucks and say they're not iconic because. Dude, side note, they do have a Founding Fathers flag on Shop AEW, and I definitely ordered that bitch.
Was it the flag that they were waving when they came in?
No, it was this. It's well, maybe it might have been. It might have been. It's
probably is.
It's like a cream-colored flag, and it has their seal with them too.
That's what they were waving when they came in. Yep. By the way, they came in waving their own flags. It was.
I love it.
Kenny also had like Captain America gear. And I saw a TikTok
but it was Canadian though. I saw it later. It was like Canadian Captain America, which
I saw a TikTok of a girl who got that shield.
I did too.
Girl, I don't know if she'd ever see this. Madam, you have a piece of history. I hope you know that. I hope you're aware.
Like, how does it feel to be God's favorite, you know?
And Samoa Joe was the one that handed to her.
Again, how does it feel to be God's favorite?
And then Swerve had like Alien
the Predator gear?
Yeah. Oh. I could talk about Swerve's gear for hours, so we're not going to.
It's
AEW is not where the best wrestle, it's where the nerds wrestle, okay? Every single one of those.
All of them are nerds. And I love it.
I love it. We got Will with Assassin's Creed. You know, it's great.
Speedball and Bellatra. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get there. But yeah, Anarchy in the Arena was anarchy. They had the revolutionary music playing in like the first 15 minutes.
Which I just know that those boys were hot as hell in those coats.
Why they never took them off, I don't know.
I know they were hot.
You had
like
to be
sweating.
Cooking. And then Kenny changed the music. They changed it again, didn't they? They changed it twice.
They changed it to what's it called? I can't remember the name of the song. I have it. I can hear it in my head.
I can too. I feel like they changed it twice after the Revolutionary War
so
music.
it changed from the Revolutionary War music, then it changed to something else, and then it changed to Drowning Pool.
The bud. Yeah. Somebody has a video of Samoa Joe just singing along to the music as he's like beating the shit out of Claudia. Yeah. See, that's the fun thing about Anarchy in the Arena. There's no rules. Like, they don't have to be serious while they're whooping each other's asses. Like, it's great. It's beautiful.
I love it.
It's essentially a house show, but on TV. Like, they're not being serious at all.
No.
Because house shows are allowed to be a little silly goofy. And Anarchy in the Arena also lets them to be silly goofy. But, you know, Mark Briscoe also came out to lock the Death Riders in the ambulance that was still there from his
that shot of all of them standing in front of the ambulance. Like poetic. So poetic. I
have it as one of my desktop wallpapers.
Really?
Yeah, I have it in rotation. It's like I have different like rotations of pictures. That's one of them. That is one of them. It's just such an iconic shot. And then also, was that when Willow had the big black and jacked shirt?
Yeah.
Matching Hobbs? Yeah. That, when the reveal for that shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Willow Nightingale, national treasure. I love you so much, girl.
Protect Willow Nightingale at all costs, actually.
I need Willow versus Marina one-on-one immediately. Soon, if
I need
later.
that, but like, I need a rubber match. I need like give me...
No. Actually,
hold on. Wait, no. Because I would be seated for that. A dog collar match between Willow and Marina?
Because when was the last time AEW did dog collar matches? The last time was when Punk was around, wasn't it?
I would say, was it Punk?
It might have been Punk MJF. Bring back the dog collar matches, please. Tony Khan, please. Or like just...
Or put Marina and Willow in a steel cage?
Like a street fight?
Or a street fight, a steel cage,
like
dog
any
collar.
Stipulation. Any. Any stipulation, just
let the women go at it.
Please. Let Marina beat Gabe Kidd's ass. Cause sir, we know what he did. He knows what he did.
I was lost for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
let Willow beat Gabe Kidd. Did I say Marina?
Well, you said Marina. That's why I was confused.
I did say Marina. That's why. I meant Willow. I'm sorry. But let Willow beat Gabe Kidd's ass. Intergender match. Let it happen. Please.
I did see something. This is off topic, but I did see something about Tony Khan possibly considering intergender matches.
Ooh, Tony, you want to listen to the voice?
I did see something like that, and honestly, I have been begging for this. Actually, like a lot of people, there are a lot of people that don't like intergender matches, but me personally,
I love them.
I love them.
Like,
give me, hold on. I mean, this would never happen, but give me Mercedes and Will on the same. Give me, look at this. Which the reason why I say would never happen is because Mercedes would probably team with, like, the Elite or some shit. Like,
she would. She would. I mean, max levels of cuntiness right there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mercedes, Monet, and Okada.
Bitch.
That shit would go. That shit would go. That shit would go.
The dual bitch at the same time from the two of them would be so funny. They're like cutting a promo on somebody, and both Mercedes and Okada just go bitch at the same time. No, we already did Mercedes and shit. Well, I guess we can move on to this one. The AEW Women's World Title match against Toni Storm and everyone's favorite girl, Mina Shirakawa. Mina!
I feel like there's really not a whole lot that I can say about this match other than it was really good.
And really gay. And really gay. Well, I guess when we are talking about them, there's usually a third member in this little trio of Toni, Mina, and usually there's Mariah. But we found out earlier this week that she has been removed from the AEW roster. And is it confirmed that she's going over to WWE, or is it just rumblings?
I don't know if I think it's expected that she's...
Okay. Yeah, it is expected that she'll go over to WWE. I will say I will miss Mariah and Toni. Just interacting in any capacity.
Mariah and Mina.
Yeah. Because they did tease them having a little... No, we did get that, didn't we? While Mariah was champion?
Yep.
Mariah versus Mina, yeah. It wasn't long enough, in my opinion. But
no.
I guess it was just waiting for Toni to get back to herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to miss seeing her. I'm going to miss seeing Mariah in the AEW. I'm sure Nigel's going to be the most distraught.
Has somebody checked on Nigel McGuinness? Because I don't.
Have we checked on Nigel McGuinness? Oh,
has somebody checked on Nigel? I would love, right? This would be so funny. And I don't know if they'll do it, but I would love for the next time that Nigel's on commentary, I would love for him to just be so, like, depressed for no reason, like just very depressed, and no one can figure out why. I think it would be so funny.
Tony Schiavone's trying to like crack jokes and cheer him up.
He was just like in his feelings.
He gets a hold of the speaker and just starts playing sad British breakup music.
Oh God, yeah,
it's just playing throughout the entire show, like during all the matches and everything. It's just sad.
It would be so. It'd be
he's
so
dressed
good.
in all black. Actually, he's not even in a suit at all. He's just in like an oversized hoodie.
Oversized hoodie and fucking sweatpants.
The hood's up. He looks like he hasn't shaved. His hair's all a bit like he's just.
He just looks a wreck. Like, and no one can figure out why.
Everyone's like, Nigel, what's wrong? He just keeps looking at the floor and shaking his head.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, he doesn't say anything. It'd be better if he doesn't say anything.
Oh God. And
he just looks at the ground. He's just shaking his head. He just faintly touches anywhere Mariah's kissed him on his face.
No,
he's gonna be depressed. He's gonna be fully depressed. I want that man fully depressed.
God. That's I need that actually.
We've so far left.
We did. It's fine. It's fine. Look.
We started with Toni and Mina. It's just like, Nigel's going to be depressed about Mariah May right now.
It's us. What do you expect? Anyways, that's going back to the original Mina and Toni. Okay. So their first match that they had at, I believe it was Forbidden Door.
I think so,
yeah. I mean, it was a really good match over in Forbidden Door too. My expectation level was around where Forbidden Door was.
Yeah.
And I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of like crazy stuff going on during this match, but like
no.
It fulfilled my expectations. And I love, and this is something that I have really loved about Toni Storm and her timeless gimmick, is like she has this like old school style of wrestling way about her. Right? Like all like the moves that she does is very like old school, very back in the day, and you wouldn't expect a style like that like in today's
no, you wouldn't
wrestling landscape to be able to fit in with the newer style and do it well.
Yeah.
And I mean, it continues to deliver good matches.
Yeah.
So that's something I really respect a lot about the timeless gimmick and of itself. I mean, other than like the whole like personality aspect, the sexual innuendos, like
the personality aspect of it is just
chef's kiss. Great. But like even down to like her mannerisms, like as she's doing moves in the ring is it's great. It's great.
It's a thing of beauty. It truly is a thing of beauty. But yeah, love Mina, but she was not winning that one, obviously.
No.
Not by a long shot.
As soon as Mercedes won, I knew it wasn't going to be Mina.
Yeah. Because
obviously, like, I went, before the card even started, I had a feeling that Toni was going to win. But, there's always that, like, slight little, like, oh, like, maybe Mina could, you know what I mean? But as soon as Mercedes won earlier in the night, I was like, okay, it's Toni.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Mercedes and Toni's the big money match.
That's happening at All In, right? Or is it happening during Fyre Fest? Yes. So we will get into that All In build-up in a minute. We still have 2 more matches to talk about. Second one being that 6-man tag. Yeah, the 6-man tag, and then
we didn't talk about Speedball.
We didn't talk about Speedball. No!
Because I said we'll get to that, and then we never got to it.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okada.
No, how could you hold on. No, I'm not accepting this, because how could you forget about my favorite in the world?
Father. I completely forgot about your father.
I've convinced myself I am Speedball's favorite person in the world, because
you are.
Speedball always interacts with my tweets. Anytime I put up anything Speedball related, Speedball's in the notifications. I love it. I'm also the self-proclaimed president of the Speedball Kick My Hand Club.
Real.
Which,
do you want to talk about how much that hurt?
It's so fucking bad. Look, okay, so in hindsight, right? Because for context, when Speedball does their entrance, they'll come out and they'll do their thing. They'll go to like one of the sides of the aisles and they'll high five somebody, and then they'll do like a spinning kick to somebody else's hand. And so I was at I think it was the Dynamite in Peoria that I went to.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was standing there with my hand out, right? And someone way in front of me got high five. So I was like, oh, he's not doing it to me. And then he looked at me, right? And we made eye contact. And I was like, wait a minute. He did the spinning hand kick and kicked my hand. Now, in hindsight, I should have like moved my hand with the momentum of the kick. I didn't budge my hand at all. So I didn't budge my hand. So it went, and yep, that hurt. Literally, when I tell you, my hand was bruised for like 3 days afterwards. 3 days. Like I couldn't fully close my hand because he kicked like right where I would close my hand, and it hurt so bad. But yeah, Speedball can fucking kick. Speedball can fucking kick.
Speedball also made Okada give a fuck. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Speedball woke something up in Okada.
Oh man. And I was just talking about that. I think it might have been you. It was you or Tony. But I was talking about how unfortunate it is that Okada has like these moments where he doesn't lock in.
I think it was all
like he only locks in for specific people.
I think we were watching Dynamite together, and you were talking about it with like the three of us.
Yeah. So, in case you don't know, Okada has this thing to where like he'll lock in, but it's only for like a select group of people.
He's kind of like Gunther in that way.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, like he'll lock in for Kenny, he'll lock in for Will. Outside of that, who does he lock in for? I don't really.
Speedball Mike Bailey, apparently.
He didn't lock in for Ricochet.
Who would?
Well, but yeah, so I was worried. I was like, because obviously Speedball is really, really talented. And I was like, I would hate for Speedball to have this match against Okada and Okada not be locked in. Okada locked in. And can I just say, incredible fucking match.
Beautiful.
Like,
beautiful.
Literally, I went into this,
Okada was going to lose that title.
That's what I was getting to. I went into this match being like, Okada is for sure winning this. Like, Speedball doesn't, like, as much as I would love for Speedball to have a chance, Speedball's going to get hit with one Rainmaker and it's going to be fucking over. Right? Speedball! Dude, this is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, incredible match with Okada.
Beautiful.
And I feel like, I said this last time about Kenny and Ricochet and Speedball's triple threat match. Mm-hmm. That, like, this was the match to be like, oh, this is Speedball Mike Bailey. And, like, this was Speedball Mike Bailey. And, like, this is how you get people to latch on to Speedball Mike Bailey. Yep. I take that back. This match with Okada, this is the one that's like, this is the one you show people when people are like, who's Speedball Mike Bailey? This is the one you show them.
The one who made Okada lock in. The one who made it. Hats off to you, Speedball.
Hats off to Speedball. No, I seriously thought that he was going to win it. I
really
seriously thought it was going to happen.
Title off of Okada.
And I would have loved it because, like, I think I talked about it with you guys also, but like, I think that since Speedball's debuted in AEW, he is more than proven that he can as far as championship, as far as the championship realm of things go, like, he can deliver in the sense of being a champion.
Oh yeah,
he can absolutely
be a fighting
deliver.
Champion for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he would deliver in the sense of, like, he would fight all the time. He would deliver great matches all the time. Like, he is, like, he would be such a good champion. And, like, him, like, if he had the Continental title, right? I feel like that would be such a good, like, initial championship for him to have. Yeah. But, I mean, now that Okada's won, I think that Continental title is going to be no longer after All In.
Well,
which we can talk about that in a little bit.
Well, yeah, we have 2 more matches to go through. The 6-man tag match between the Don Callis family and Paragon.
Look, okay. The match was fine.
It was. And that's
right, the match was
problem.
Fine. It wasn't like astronomical or anything like that, but like, okay, tell me the layout of the card. It was Speedball Okada, then the Don Callis family, and then... Is that how the order went?
I do not remember. I don't know if Cage Match has them actually in order. Oh, wait, no, they do. Card. All right, so we started off with the women's Owen Hart match. Then FTR, the stretcher match. And then it was the Hart Syndicate. Yeah, so it was... No, it was... Speedball Okada, Toni Storm Mina, Anarchy in the Arena, then the 6-man tag.
Okay, that's what I'm getting to. So, I feel like it was kind of like a doom spot that match was put in. You know what I mean? Because how
do you follow up Anarchy in the Arena?
That's what I'm saying. After the Anarchy in the Arena that we had, how do you follow that up? Right? Yeah. And I don't think that they were ever going to follow it up. Kind of like how, like, Revolution, right? When it was Kyle and Will's steel cage match, and then the main event with Mox and Cope. Like, Mox and Cope were never going to follow that. I'm so sorry. But, okay, but yeah. Like, I mean, that 6-man tag was never going to exceed Anarchy at the Arena. It was never going to. Mm-mm. But I think for what it was a good match. I do like that this is setting up Kyle Fletcher to take that strap off of Adam Cole.
Hold on.
I do. Am I wrong? My bad, bro.
But yeah, it does set up for Proto Star to become Proto Champion. Which, fingers crossed that is soon.
Because it hasn't really been announced or anything for Fyter Fest, I feel like that's an all-in match.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, so, I mean, I've had this agenda it's been, since November, Vio, that I've had this Kyle for TNT Champion agenda?
Yeah. Yeah.
My agenda is finally happening. You know what? Sometimes here's my life lesson to people, right? Never lose the faith. Never lose hope.
Never.
Because everything works out in the end. Absolutely everything works out in the end.
Everything. Nothing's ever gone wrong, ever.
I was wanting Kyle Fletcher to be the TNT champion in November. We're getting it now. Sometimes you just have to.
Sometimes you just gotta wait a little bit,
It'll work itself out,
Yeah. But since we have mentioned you going to All In, you also get to witness the aftermath of our main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay in the men's Owen Hart Cup finals.
I'm gonna let you start of this match.
Oh my god. Oh my. First of all, just the build to this match has been as cinematic as the match actually was, because there was the shot when Will and Hangman were teaming up and Will almost hit him, and you can just Hangman staring, like, put the fear of God in that man.
I was there for that. I was not okay.
I know you were. I know. And then the match itself. Will and Hangman have such a great in-ring chemistry against each other. I could watch them fight for the rest of my life and not get bored, honestly. They might get tired, but it was so beautiful, and it was so close too. It was so close.
I think that's the beauty of it, right? Is that this build, from the beginning of this build, it's genuinely been like an anybody could win this match scenario.
Because they both have very compelling reasons for why they need to win and they need to take that title off of Mox.
Yeah, but not even that. Just even off of, when you think of just ability alone.
Yeah.
Like, you think about putting them up against one another, like one-on-one, like, it's
a toss-up.
It's a toss-up. But I think that they did a beautiful job executing that aspect of it. Of, this really is anybody's match. And I think that a lot of the storytelling aspects, like, if you're casually watching it, or like this is your first time watching anything between Will and Hangman, you probably wouldn't have been able to pick up on things like that. But like, you had, and I'm gonna speak solely on Will's side, because I know a lot about Hangman, but I deep dive into Will. But Will, the way, all right, bro, all right.
My bad. Continue.
Words are hard. Anyways, so Will did this beautiful thing in this match where he started off, obviously, as like his normal, like, cocky self or whatever. But as the match progressed, you saw a lot of his immaturity start to come through.
Yeah.
And on the inverse, a lot of Hangman's maturity was shining in this match. You know what I mean? Will's maturity, like, downward spiraled him to a point in the match where he started doing heel shit.
Yeah. Which was strange.
Which, I mean, I love it, right? Because, I think that's a beautiful way to tell, like, because a lot of people haven't really touched on Will's character from, like, a maturity standpoint, and how sometimes Will is very, like, he's very much like he'll jump the gun sometimes, or, like, he'll do whatever is necessary at any point. And I can't lie, during this match, I got flashbacks to Will and Kenny's match at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Like, just the overall like presentation that Will was giving off of, like, he was like a very immature kid almost. You know, like he started showing the reason why it wouldn't be necessarily a good idea at this current moment to put a world title on him.
Yeah.
I love Will. I think Will absolutely deserves the world title, but I think that a lot of people have missed those immaturity qualities of Will in his character that, you know what I mean? I don't know. But
no, I get what you're saying.
It even got to a point where Will was like, I'm going to do anything to win this, and started using his boyfriend's moves on Will and Hangman's mutual boyfriend's moves on, like,
mutual boyfriend is crazy. Not he's the community.
Look, Will Ospreay whipped out a V trigger. He tried doing the one winged angel. Honestly, if the one winged angel hit, I would have lost my mind.
I would have popped real hard.
I would have lost my mind.
One winged angel to hit.
Swerve. Hangman used Swerve's big pressure. Like,
I almost cried.
Like, it's just, literally, like, it got to a point where they were doing anything
and everything to win.
And then they even had like a shootout moment.
Yep.
Which a lot of people called that spot fucking stupid because they were both hitting finishers on each other and whatever. But Will said, I thought it was good, and I think that showed a lot. I think that aspect also, because Will called for the shootout, right?
Yes, he did.
I think that also showed a lot of his immaturity and, like, I don't want to say recklessness, but
it is.
Like, kind of, but like more of like his impulsiveness and like his like the way that he like does things without thinking, really.
Yeah, not a lot going on up there. Love you, Will, but when it comes to what he wants, not a single
and
thought. And
you want to know something? A part of me feels like that this is not the last time we're going to see Will and Hangman.
I hope not.
I don't think so, because I noticed very specifically that there was one move that did not get hit, and I think he teased it, but I don't think he did it.
Which one?
But the Tiger Driver.
Yeah, he did tease a Tiger Driver. He did.
Because I think I was at that point, you were in the call with me and Tony, but I was talking about how, like, if Will hits a Tiger Driver, it's over. Will's winning the match.
Yeah.
And he never hit it.
Nope. We were also expecting an appearance of Jay White in this match, but no. It's okay. Hangman wins, and he's going to All In.
They keep stealing Stormblade from me. It's pissing me off.
Well, I was going to say if there's nothing else for Will to do, but Will is currently getting into a fight with Swerve because he keeps trying to bring Hang Swerve back together, and it's not happening.
Will, baby, I can't. I can't stress this enough. It's not.
He's just trying to reunite his brother with his ex-boyfriend, and it's not.
I know, it's.
I don't think Will realized how toxic that Hangman was.
I know, and like, I know a lot of people were saying some stuff about Will, like they were like, "Oh, Will's an idiot for trying to get them together when they absolutely hate each other." But like, I think that, and I think I was telling you about it at one point, but I had a feeling that they were going to call back to that moment with Will and Darby in the Continental Classic, where Darby was telling Will to, you know, essentially
you
like
about it, I think.
Yeah, to essentially like take his focus off of the Don Callis family because Will was in the heat of a feud with Kyle.
Yeah.
And Will
start,
wasn't
like, assembling people,
right, to start
and
like building getting the Avengers together and to try and take down the Death Riders.
Unfortunately, the Avengers want to kill each other more than they want to kill Jon Moxley. So
yeah,
Hangman's taking it off of Mox. I'm so sure about it.
Yeah, but I think that that was a great moment to call back to. To finally have Will like actually listen to Darby's advice and try to be the one to communicate it to everybody else. Now, this is where I'm like, Will, you're an idiot. When Will asked Swerve, like, who's the bigger threat, the Death Riders or Hangman? Because Swerve's obviously gonna say Hangman. Like,
babes.
Like,
he just showed the video of the Young Bucks being like, oh, we did this for our friend.
Like, Hangman burned down his childhood home. Obviously, like, we've got
the Death Riders really ain't done shit, let's be honest.
Yeah, the Death Riders really haven't done anything to
There's
Swerve.
nothing for them to really say that they're a threat other than that they've been holding that title in a briefcase. That's it. Because Mox is like, all of you are not worthy enough to even look at this bitch.
Yeah.
To be honest, I hate calling back to... But, I feel like if they would have let him, Gunther probably would have done the same shit with the World Heavyweight title. Because he always talks about, lock it away in a briefcase and not let anybody look at it because they're not worthy. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
If WWE would have let him, Gunther would have done the exact same thing. Because he always preaches about, the sanctity of the ring, the prestige of the ring, and things like that. Like, yeah.
Hashtag real grabs.
Gunther is the personification of hashtag real grabs. Like, Gunther would have locked that World Heavyweight title away. Dude. Far. None of you are even able to look at it. But so now we've gone through Double or Nothing. We should talk about how this leads into All In. Because we already have Toni and Mariah confirmed.
Whoa.
Not Toni and Mariah.
Oh,
Toni and Mercedes. My fault.
Hello?
It's been a day.
Okay, I'm gonna let it slide.
It's the Shield. It's the incident of the Shield anniversary. Leave me be.
That was it. You got it.
Well, yeah, we have Toni and Mercedes confirmed for All In, and we also have Hangman and Mox confirmed. Are those the only ones confirmed for All In?
Yes.
Okay, so we still have a good bit of spots to fill up.
unless you want to, Kenny versus Okada is essentially confirmed.
That is essentially gonna, yeah, because they have that 4-way at Fyter Fest.
Kenny's gonna win the 4-way.
It's Kenny, Okada, Claudio.
No, it's not Okada. It's
Kenny, Brody, Claudio, and who else?
Kenny, Brody, Claudio, and Mascara Dorado.
Yeah, that's the one match I accidentally fell asleep during Collision. It was late.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, so they have that 4-way match.
Do we think Okada's gonna interrupt that match at all? Just like pop up?
I think Okada's gonna do what he normally does with Kenny matches, and he'll come out at the end.
That's fair.
Because if he does that, it'll be like the third time that he's...
Yeah. What else do we have for Fyter Fest?
A lot. There's a lot going on.
Too much.
Mark Briscoe and Jon Moxley.
Two of the biggest bladers in AEW going at it. Yeah! I wish there was a stipulation on that bitch, but, it's fine.
And then Speedball, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and somebody else are going against... I don't remember what the match is, but Jet Speed is back. Jet Speed is back.
We were supposed to be talking about the build to All In.
Yeah.
Do we want to put Kyle and...
Kyle and Adam Cole is absolutely going to be on the match card.
Do we think
for the TNT Championship? Huh?
Do we think there's going to be a stipulation for them? Or do we think it'll happen with one of the other matches?
No, that's hard. I honestly feel like it's just going to be just a normal match. Honestly. I don't think there's going to be any sort of stipulation for the TNT title. I want there to be, but I don't think.
What stipulation would you put on it?
I got no fucking idea.
Steel cage? Everybody barred from ringside?
I mean, yeah, you could bar everybody from ringside, but I would maybe like a street fight scenario.
Ooh.
It's hard though, but it's hard because I'm trying to imagine a correct stipulation in a sense that wouldn't absolutely kill Adam Cole.
That's true. Adam Cole is kind of falling off the bone.
Yeah. I don't put Adam Cole in a steel cage. Don't put him in a steel cage. Don't do a dog collar match.
We'll save the dog collar match for Mox and Hangman.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that All In, Kyle Fletcher is going to be taking that. I want to say strap. Do it. Kyle Fletcher is taking that strap, and Adam Cole is catching those proto strokes.
We are not a very serious bunch, in case you haven't figured that out. We are not very serious.
It doesn't help that I'm an actual I'm a Fletchlight, so I learned from Kyle.
Yeah,
I get it from Kyle. I don't.
Yeah, that's real. What other matches do we think they're going to build towards for All In?
Swerve versus Will 2.
Yeah. Their little interaction on what was it?
Here's how I think that okay. So I'm of the opinion that I do want Swerve versus Will, but I want Swerve versus Will to be taking place on Will's own road to redemption, if you will. Because obviously, Swerve is one of the only people in AEW that have pinned Will Ospreay.
Yep.
And I don't know. I get why we're doing it. I think that if they do it now, they'll probably have Will win the match at All In, which I don't think that Swerve should lose back-to-back All Ins, but that's just me. That's just me.
That's a conversation.
I don't think he should have lost the first one, but that's also maybe just me.
That's a conversation for a different day.
That's a conversation for our last episode.
The episode that'll get it taken off the air.
But yeah, so I think they're probably gonna have Will win that match for his redemption, you know?
Yeah.
And then after that match, Swerve will be like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll work with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But not because I'm choosing to, but because you beat the shit out of me to do it.
I don't
you know
have
what I mean?
any other choice, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that meant to be happening. It's a little bit of a here damn. Just a little.
Yeah, it makes me actually wish that Jay White would have cost Will at Double or Nothing.
At least
it makes me wish that would have happened.
At least we would have gotten Stormblade, man.
Yeah. At least we would have gotten Stormblade. At least he would have had a legit feud going into All In and not a.
Do we think that Jamie Hayter and Tekla feud is going to make any sort of appearance at All In?
I don't know.
Oh, do you think that's too soon?
It might be too soon.
What other women's feuds are there? There's
the Harley Anna Jay feud with Megan, Bane, and Penelope.
Isn't Sky
but
Blue
they've done that match too many times already.
Isn't Sky Blue technically involved in that feud?
Sky Blue and Julia Hart have
that's a different
something.
Oops. Yeah.
What feud is that?
I think it's just Sky Blue and.
Is it Sky Blue and Julia Hart and then Mina and Toni?
I think so.
Yeah,
and that sounds right. Getting on Fyter Fest, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we have something involving that at All In.
Yeah, a big part of me though thinks that we're going to have they'll probably have some sort of interaction or something during the what I'm predicting to happen is the women's casino gauntlet.
Okay.
I think we're getting both a men's and women's casino gauntlet this year.
Hey, I'm here for it. Okay? I'm not gonna be honest with you, the last casino gauntlet I watched, Box was in it, so it's been a bit, but casino gauntlets are also kind of like Anarchy in the Arena to me, where it's just
chaos.
Yep. And I love that. I love it when wrestling matches are just chaos. Where it's just
is it bad that I already have a feeling who I think is going to win the men's?
Who is it? Is it Will?
Our favorite scumbag.
Oh. Our.
Well, because think about his story as far as he is concerned with the AEW World Title.
He made a threat at Mox once, and then we never touched that again.
Yeah, his whole philosophy this entire time has been I'm gonna take the easy way out. to get this title. Like, I'm not gonna work for it. I'm not gonna, because he was talking about the Owen. He was like, why would I do a full tournament like this? You know what I mean? That's stupid.
I'll just win the Casino Gauntlet, and then
I'll just win a Casino Gauntlet, have a contract for a championship match, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is a contract.
Yeah, I'll have a contract. That way I can just
the first time.
Huh?
I feel like that's how he got to fighting Mox around, like, the first time. I remember there were being contracts involved and shit like that. The first time MJF
I don't remember
with Mox. I don't think it was from the Casino Gauntlet, but I do remember contracts and shit.
Probably some sort of like battle royal type. You know what I mean?
Yeah. MJF, that's just how he is. Easy way out.
Yeah, and I think I wonder if that means that Bobby and Shelton are going to be in the Casino Gauntlet and they're gonna help him win.
Help him? Probably.
Because MJF was like, me joining the Hurt Syndicate is they're gonna help me get the world title.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
Yeah, it's the way I completely forgot about MJF going after the world heavyweight title. That's how you brought it up.
Unfortunately didn't. So here we are.
You brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, he did make a threat at Jon Moxley all those months ago.
Yep, and
pretty sure it was after his fight with. Was it after his fight with Adam Cole? That backstage segment?
He's been making comments about going after the world title since his fight with Adam Cole, but he didn't start like going after it aggressively until after his match with Hangman, which he lost though. So like,
right, yeah. I'm trying to remember when that like little backstage video was. I think that's what it was. Yeah,
because he was talking about him wanting to go after it the easy way, and then Hangman started talking about how he wanted to go after the title, and then they started. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always a whole thing with MJF. Nothing's ever just
halfway.
It's always got to be a whole thing with that man. And you know, I kind of love it. I kind of live for that kind of drama. You know, it's great.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I would like to see a women's Casino Gauntlet. That would be.
I think they should, and I think Willow should be the winner.
Real, that's real. Because AEW has such a very stacked women's roster.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a Casino Gauntlet would be a very good way to highlight and just show them all off. Yeah, I would like a men and women's Casino Gauntlet. Tony Khan, give it to me now. Right now.
Tony Khan, if you're listening.
He's noticed the pod before.
I had good ideas sometimes.
He has noticed the pod before that was on Twitter, so like, maybe we should post this on Twitter. Just be like, hey, listen, just Tony, you want to give us a women's Casino Gauntlet so bad. What else? I don't even want to pull up the Fyter Fest card.
Well, so obviously this is hard because the TBS title isn't being defended. Because Mercedes.
Who has a TBS title? Oh yeah,
Mercedes.
I don't know. I was trying to remember which title Nick Wayne had because Nick Wayne also has a title.
No, Nick Wayne has the Ring of Honor TV title, which that could possibly be. I could see more Ring of Honor titles being defended on. What's it called? And that's how I think Athena gets on the card is by defending her Ring of Honor.
Okay, got the card. Yeah, the 4-way match. Mercedes is going to be on commentary for the women's tag match.
I'm not surprised.
Mercedes will be there. It would be. I'm not saying Athena should just attack her while she's not paying attention. But, you know, if she wants to, Mercedes she won't necessarily be in gear. She won't be expecting a fight.
No.
Pop in, whack in the back of the head, you know.
What, have them go at it for the TBS title?
No, we'd put our Athena's Ring of Honor title. Or something. Or like a title for title.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. I want Athena to be it all in. I don't care how it happens.
Well, yeah, but if you were doing it that way, you would be wanting Mercedes to have 2 matches.
Right. She does already have a match at all.
Oh my god. Hello?
I don't know what's going on. See, this is why I need Tony here. Tony keeps me on track. Elmo has the memory of a goddamn goldfish.
I can tell. My god.
Depression be whooping my ass. Okay, depression has had me repress a lot of things, and I forget a lot, so.
It happens, you know.
Childhood trauma. But we do get Tekla's in-ring debut for Fyter Fest, and we also will be hearing from the Hurt Syndicate.
I don't like how much we're hearing from the Hurt Syndicate.
We're hearing a lot and we're not seeing a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to be seeing more.
I need to see more of you. Not, you know what? All right.
I need to be seeing why we gave you these tag team titles to begin with.
Speaking of matches that I think will be happening at All In.
Yes.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Jet Speed.
Yeah.
Versus the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
I mean, they would probably... Okay, but that's tough, though, because then you'd have to figure out, well, where are the Young Bucks going to be at for All In? They would probably...
gotta be there.
They'd probably get thrown in with that, because obviously Jet Speed has had beef with the Bucks, so...
Yes. Yeah.
It would probably be the Hurt Syndicate, the Young Bucks, and Jet Speed.
That's fair.
And the Jet Speed should win.
Yes, they should. I agree. Hopefully, FTR stays far, far away from that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they add more teams to it, you should probably just make it a ladder match.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine MJF tried to convince them not to do a ladder match.
Oh my god.
It's because, what is MJF's purpose in the Hurt Syndicate other than the Hurt Syndicate is his muscle?
Apparently, to not wear matching suits with everybody else involved. Everybody walking out in black and gold and silver and shit. And MJF is walking out in bright ass blue.
They haven't added him to the Hurt Syndicate group chat yet.
I don't want them to.
Exactly.
Because that makes it real.
Yeah, well, it is real, unfortunately. He's there. He got the 3 thumbs up. We watched it. You were there for it.
I can't believe I was there for that, man.
You were there in person and thought Shelton Benjamin was going to kick his head off.
Yeah, I can't believe that I was actually there for that. Because during commercial break, MVP was like, should we let him in or should we just beat his ass? And everyone was like, beat his ass!
And then they didn't.
And I was like, all right, bro.
I wonder if you guys said let him in, they would have actually beat his ass.
Well,
we'll never know. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Because Shelton was gearing up to kick his head off.
Doing a pivot, It
was the biggest pivot in the world. Because watch Shelton hunched up in the corner, ready to go.
Oh, no, I saw it immediately, and I was like, oh my god, he's about to fucking...
And then Bobby's just like...
All right,
Bobby's over there yeah!
We were robbed, actually.
Robbed of Shelton Benjamin kicking MJF's head off.
It's gonna happen, though.
One of these days. It'll just be too soon. Too little, too late.
Yeah.
Too little, too late. Do we... Is there anything else you want to talk... Do we want to talk about Fyter Fest at all? Predictions? Maybe? No?
We could talk about Fyter Fest. They're really... Okay. So they've got... I don't know how many matches they have announced.
They have
you could probably tell me that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Which, it's a 4-hour show, so I would expect maybe... I don't know how they're going to do it. If they're going to do it just randomly throughout the show, they're going to be like, oh my god, this match is happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're doing... Because it's essentially just them doing Dynamite and Collision on one night.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be the Dynamite show and their matches, and then the Collision show and their matches.
Right.
So probably more matches will be added, in between that aren't, I guess, officially on the card.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are, the main matches we have.
We're probably, at some point, we're probably going to get some sort of interaction between Kyle Fletcher and Adam Cole.
Oh, for sure.
Because that backstage segment after, I think it was this past Dynamite or Collision, I can't remember which one, where
Dynamite, where they were just beating each other up.
Yeah, backstage where Kyle was like, I don't know who made the call, but I should be TNT champion. And then Adam Cole was like, I'm gonna kill you, which is like, Adam, that's a lot for just this one time.
You fought one time. Relax.
You fought one time and you already want him dead. Back up.
This is what happens when you don't let your goddamn champion fight people.
This is This is something that I do want to talk about, actually. Speaking of Kyle and Adam Cole, that apron powerbomb spot.
It's spooky.
I'm gonna try and be as calm as I possibly can about this. I understand that spot was scary. That spot was dangerous. That spot was not overall like a terrifying situation. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand why now the narrative around Kyle Fletcher is that he's a dangerous worker and reckless, and I don't like that. Yeah. So social media, ever since that happened, have been calling him dangerous, reckless, like a bunch of yeah.
This is AEW we're talking about. Ricochet was not even stabbing people in the head with scissors.
Well, no, it's not even that. They're kind of mad about it because of Adam Cole's history with concussions and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, I get.
Which I understand that, but I mean, I don't like to be this person, but like at Double or Nothing in the 6-man tag match, Kyle Fletcher saved Kyle O'Reilly from getting dropped on his fucking head. Like,
you know,
like I assure you, if there was a way that Kyle Fletcher could have prevented more of Adam Cole doing whatever, like the powerbomb apron spot.
Yeah.
If there was more that Kyle Fletcher could have done, he would have done it.
Exactly.
Like, mind you, this is the same, like, he's been trusted to work in the ring with a Mark Briscoe, a Will Ospreay, Hangman. Like, obviously they trust him and they think that he's a safe guy. I mean, yeah. I've seen people talk about Kyle Fletcher in a sense of like he's one of the safest workers that they have on the roster.
There you go.
So this whole narrative about Kyle Fletcher being dangerous all of a sudden because of one spot, which Kyle most likely didn't even call for, because let's be real, Kyle Fletcher at this point has not been with AEW enough as far as like veteran status
to be calling spots like that.
To have the right to call spots in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything, that was probably Adam Cole's decision.
Mm-hmm. And like, these wrestlers aren't.
And I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, this is Adam Cole's fault because he called the spot. But like,
there's a risk going into these matches, and they know. Like,
and on top of that, if anyone knows anything about his own injury history, it's Adam Cole.
Like, these wrestlers
Adam Cole knew that there was a possibility that wasn't going to work out.
Yeah. Like, they're not children. We don't have to baby them, be like, he could have gotten another concussion. He's aware he could have gotten another concussion. Like, these wrestlers know the risk that they're taking. He's been wrestling
for I don't know how long. He's aware of the inherent risk of what happens in it. Oh my god. But yeah, this whole narrative around Kyle Fletcher now sucks, and I hate it.
Boo.
What else was I gonna say?
I was just gonna keep going, like, you know, they're aware of the risks. If they're aware of their own injury history and how to, you know, best perform a crazy spot without hopefully re-injuring themselves, and they are aware that there's a risk that they could still re-injure themselves. So, like,
yeah,
please stop calling people unsafe that aren't actually unsafe, because like they know. Yeah, they know how to take care of each other.
That'll piss me off.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, there's. Do we want to put our predictions?
What
for
other
the
matches
6 matches
are on for?
There's the International Championship 4-Way. That do we think Kenny's winning?
Yes.
We do. Yes. Then there's Mox versus Mark Briscoe.
Mox is winning that.
That's Who do you think's winning the female tag match?
Well, hold on. Mox is either Hold on. Mox is either winning that match or it's gonna end in DQ.
It's probably gonna end in DQ because Death Riders.
Yeah.
Death Riders nonsense. It'll most likely be Yuta leading the charge because it's always Yuta.
It's always Yuta. That man is so deep in the Kool-Aid.
Put it down. Put the Kool-Aid
He can't put it down. He's swimming in it. He needs to get out. He needs to get out of the pool.
Your fingers are already pruning up. Get out of there.
They've been pruned up. Hello?
Get out. Get out. Somebody fish him out of there. Bryan Danielson, come back. Get your son, please. I need I need people to stop going after Mox and to actually go after Yuta. You know, get Yuta out of there. Yes. We need somebody to get Yuta out of there. I feel like once we get Yuta out of there, the whole thing crumbles. Because then Mox doesn't have anybody to use as, like, bait. Or, like, a test, like a sacrifice, essentially. Because Yuta was put through the ringer when Mox was feuding with Orange Cassidy. He was about to stop Yuta's head in twice. Twice he tried to stop Yuta's head in. Just for the sake of Orange Cassidy coming out there. So, like, I think people, like... Obviously, we can still have people going after Mox for, like, the world title, but I need somebody to try to get to Yuta and, like, bring him back to society.
I think that's what Cope was trying to do.
But nobody's gonna listen to Cope.
So who would Yuta... The only person that Yuta would listen to would be Danielson. Realistically.
Yeah, and Danielson's dead now. In kayfabe.
And father went to go get the milk and never came back.
Father went up to the farm upstate. He went to the
to
run around with all the other goats.
Came back.
He went to the farm upstate for it. That's why. But yeah. The only other person Yuta, I think Yuta would listen to Orange Cassidy because they did also have, you know.
Yeah, but Orange Cassidy, I don't know if you know this, but Orange Cassidy
also went to go get the milk and never came back.
Yeah, so apparently he tore like his pectoral muscle or something like that.
Shit. Oh, I did not know that actually.
And they said he's probably going to have to do surgery. Or that he probably did surgery. And if that's the case, then that puts him out until later this year.
Damn. Who else would you listen to then? Because I know if our glory
Danielson. Danielson's the only option.
Well, Danielson in kayfabe is dead.
Well, someone bring him to life. I don't know. Someone do a seance or like a ritual.
That's your girl. Julia Hart got to do it.
Yeah.
The Hounds of Hell got to do it. They're the only ones.
Speaking of the Hounds of Hell, I need Buddy Matthews to come back.
Yeah, Buddy, he's too busy watching Rhea's Labubu collection.
Yeah.
Rhea's got a crippling Labubu addiction. Now Buddy has to watch over. Are they still? No, they're not still on honeymoon.
I don't know.
We haven't seen Rhea on TV in a while either.
Just in video packages.
Yeah. Buddy, come back. We miss you.
We do.
You have to, Buddy, come back. You have to perform a seance to get Bryan Danielson back.
Buddy, I know you. I know you just sat down on the couch, but listen.
we need to perform some kind of ritual to get Bryan Danielson back into the ring so that way he can convince Yuta to get out of Mox's grasp.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. And because when and if, I almost just said when, but when and if Eddie Kingston comes back, we know that Eddie's going to be going after Mox. Eddie don't give a fuck about anybody else over there.
Unless they have Eddie come back and sort of set up Forbidden Door with him and Gabe Kidd.
I think that would actually be more interesting than Eddie going after Mox.
Well, because Gabe Kidd technically is the one that got Eddie Kingston up out of there.
Yeah. Yep. He killed Mox's first husband. And that's why Claudio was able to slide in there.
That really is his son, man. It really is his son.
He broke up his first AEW marriage just so Claudio could get in there.
Did we ever think about the possibility of Claudio being the one to turn first?
I feel like you and I might have talked about it like off this, but yeah. Because when Claudio lost his match after
Claudio damn near crashed out over the trios titles.
Claudio damn near killed that man. And Yuta wasn't helping in the slightest, mind you.
No.
Because Yuta's trying to calm him down, Mox is also trying to calm him down, and then Mox is also yelling at Yuta while calming down Claudio. Like, it was a lot.
It was a whole lot,
Robin. It was a lot. But yeah, Claudio nearly took Mox's head off. Like, the day Claudio walks out to the ring and he doesn't have Mox's commandments still on him, it's over. It's the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mox hasn't really done anything to even help the Death Riders get the trio tag titles back. At all. Mind you, Pac has also been out but like Gabe Kidd's there. Gabe Kidd could also help with the trios titles.
Well, Gabe Kidd is not signed to AEW.
Yeah. Well, but so Mox hasn't really tried to do anything to help any of the other Death Riders, and yet all they've ever done is continuously help Mox. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if down the line Claudio's like, you know what? Enough of this. You know, I've been by your side since the beginning. Truly. Like, they've been together since
Blackpool WWE. Combat Club, my beloved.
They've been together. They've been like this since damn near day one. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mox or Claudio's like, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done helping you get everything while I get nothing. And just snaps. And just finally snaps.
Yeah.
The way I see it happening is that, like, Mox tries to order Claudio to do something, and Claudio is just standing there. Claudio doesn't move. And then Mox is still trying to get Claudio to do, like, you know, getting up at Claudio's face, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, go, I told you to go. And Claudio just, like, not even in the ring, while they're still all standing up on the stairs.
I could, realistically right now, I can see Claudio turning on Mox before I see Wheeler Yuta turning on Mox.
Because Yuta is drowning in the Kool-Aid. Just drowning in it.
We veered so far from the topic, actually.
It's fine. This is... maybe we'll cut it out. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
Who knows? There is something that I did want to bring up, though. About All In, technically.
Yeah.
So obviously on this here B-sides of the podcast, we cover NXT. And obviously the exact same time as All In is Great American Bash.
Yep. There.
Here, give me your thoughts, Vio. What the counter programming of it all? Because mind you, so All In Texas has been for over a year has been solidified.
Yes.
Right?
The date, the time, yes, all of it. We've known about this for at least half a year.
All the festivities going on WWE side, whether it be Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, Evolution. Saturday night's main event was announced in advance, right? But like only a few months ago type of advance. But Evolution and Great American Bash were literally just announced like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So from your standpoint, do you think that that's purposeful? That they meant to basically do this whole, basically just a WWE weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. It was very much planned. It was very much on purpose and very, very petty of WWE because they definitely know how big All In is going to be. And they definitely want to try and capitalize on that themselves by running Great American Bash at the same time, but I don't think it's gonna work necessarily.
My issue, right, with the whole counter programming thing and how they did it is that you're not hurting, obviously, you're not hurting Evolution, right? Because it's a different day. I mean, you could be hurting Evolution. I'll get to that in a second. But the biggest thing affected by this is NXT.
Yeah.
NXT is going to suffer because of this.
Suffer bad, too.
Because, I mean, and I hate to sit here and be like, choose between Great American Bash or AEW All In, but like that's really what it's going to come down to for a lot of people is you know, they're gonna look at Great American Bash and be like, I'm supposed to want to watch this over this card that's right here, you know what I mean?
Because we already have matches announced for All In, and both matches we have banger on paper.
And even the one that's basically set in stone, but not really set in stone yet, like that match alone has drawn people over. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
So I don't know. I think that the biggest people hurt by this is NXT, and I don't think that's fair to the NXT roster because the NXT roster is great.
It's stacked. It's very stacked.
The booking situation over there sometimes is better than the main roster.
You said it, not me.
But look, okay, so here's something that I was thinking about that could possibly like get NXT like kind of a, not necessarily a one-up, but like a haha, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, obviously, we know that Mariah May has left AEW.
Yes.
And is expected to go over to WWE.
Yes.
A lot of people are speculating that she will debut at Evolution, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah. And here's since WWE's already being petty about it.
Might as well go all in. No pun intended.
You might as well go all in and have Mariah May debut at NXT Great American Bash the exact same time that AEW All In's at.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that with a lot of the big stars that have come in on the women's side, there's a pattern of them like starting over in NXT and being there for a little while, getting adjusted to how WWE does things, just to kind of get them acclimated to the WWE system. Yeah. And then they'll move them to the main roster.
Yep.
So I don't think that pattern's going to change for Mariah May, as much as I think that she is absolutely main roster ready. Mm-hmm. As much as I think she probably should go to the main roster first.
Yeah.
I think she's probably going to end up being over in NXT for a little bit.
Yeah. Probably like a couple months, the same way Stephanie and Julia were.
And I almost kind of prefer that. I made a video on this a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. I almost, at this point, kind of prefer Mariah to go to NXT first. Yeah. Because I don't know if I trust the booking of the women on the main roster enough to have Mariah May go over there right now.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if I trust it.
I don't. I certainly do not.
I mean, Mariah May absolutely should be main roster. Yes. You know what I mean? She was just in my opinion, the greatest women's feud of this era.
She got such an amazing send-off.
She absolutely can deliver, but with the way that women's feuds have been booked recently...
There's a thing I've seen, and I've only seen it once, and hopefully I don't see it again, of if Mariah goes over to WWE and she gets put on the main roster, if they put her in this story with Liv, Roxanne, and Dominic...
Nope, I'm stopping you. That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening.
It better not happen.
It's not happening.
It better not happen.
It's not happening.
Like, as you were saying...
You mean to tell me we went from kissing women...
fighting over Dominic Mysterio. Mind you, I love Dom, but no.
No. Actually, matter of fact, you know what you should do? If you do involve her with the Liv and all them in the...
Let her be going after Liv.
Have her go after Liv.
Mind you, Liv's been in that kind of storyline before, so it's not like it'd be
foreign to her. In kayfabe, Liv also likes women.
In kayfabe, Liv Morgan is a bisexual.
In kayfabe, so...
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride, let's go.
We've run.
Hell yeah. No, but all seriousness, like, all seriousness though, like, I want the best for Mariah May when she goes over to WWE. Mm-hmm. With the way that the Liv and Rhea feud could have been this generational thing, and they made it about Dominic Mysterio, with the atrocity that was Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, with the way that Naomi and Jade has turned into Naomi just getting her ass beat and running away.
Yeah. Maybe
Mariah May should go over to NXT first.
Yeah. Let her be besties with Tatum. You know? I feel like Tatum could use... Tatum would go really well with Mariah May. Because Tatum's always, like, borderline, low-key flirting with all of her friends.
Yeah, and Mariah just
Mariah's,
actively...
like, full send with it.
Mariah is putting the work on you, you know? But
exactly. I feel like Tatum would be like, oh, that's what we're doing now. Bet. And both of them would just go full send. Plus, Tatum's literally lost everybody. Give that poor girl someone.
But if Mariah is only there for a little bit and then she goes to the main roster,
but at least she's still in the, you know.
Yeah.
In the company, I guess.
But because yeah, I hate to say this, but JC Jane, your days are numbered. JC Jane, your days are numbered. If Mariah does go over to the main roster, Tiffany Stratton, your days are numbered.
Yup. God, it's gonna be blonde versus blonde again. God.
That scares me. The promo. I was thinking about no.
Yep. Dead it.
No, I'm good. Dead it. I'm good.
Pull the cord.
And that's not. I mean, Mariah would absolutely kill it, but that's the problem.
Exactly. I fear Tiffy is not keeping up with.
Oh God, with Mariah.
I fear Tiffy is not going to keep up with that. Oh. It's going to be Tiffy versus Charlotte all over again.
Oh, except this time she can't because Mariah actually has a personality.
Exactly, and Tiffy can't just call her old. So,
no. Yikes.
Yeah, it's spooky. I mean, I would like it. I know we were joking, but I would actually like it if Mariah went after Liv in a romantic sense.
That would be funny.
It'd be so... Because the last time Liv was in the storyline, I think it was under redacted.
It was with Lana, right?
Yes, but the person in charge, I believe.
Yeah.
Redacted. So, yeah, the last time she was in that that kind of storyline was during that era, so I would love to see the new era of Liv Morgan.
I don't want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to. I don't want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to gay storylines.
I know. I can dream.
But I fear this is not a gay household.
It is not. Very much is not. It's since it is the unhappy anniversary of the Shield incident.
Hold on. The segue from gay household to the
because I am going somewhere with this. I swear. I'm going somewhere with this. I swear.
Gay household.
They were a gay household.
They were a gay
household. It's crazy how WWE was, I guess, a lot more of an accepting household under redacted.
I don't know if it's accepting, but more so like fetish based.
Yeah. I take that back. Never mind. I was going somewhere with that, and then
I'm sorry I ruined it.
No, it's okay, because I was gonna bring up the fact, like, the Shield were always, like, hugging on each other, touching each other, like...
Well, okay. That probably wasn't a redacted.
That
probably
them.
Wasn't a redacted. That was them, right? That was them. But, I mean, as far as, like, the Liv Morgan storyline...
Yeah, that was definitely...
That was, unfortunately, more of a... I
would like it again in a not...
In a more just, like, accepting way? Yeah, I would too. But, unfortunately, this...
And it would be great if it was her and Mariah. Because Mariah...
It would, dude. But, you know, Mariah would match the hell out of Liv's freak. Oh, my God!
She would match her freak so bad. So bad.
Now I want it. Like
like you see what I'm seeing. You see what I'm seeing.
I see it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
We went on a whole gay tangent that none of you are gonna hear. Or maybe you might. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe I'll post it on TikTok or something. I don't know.
You know, are you gonna edit it?
Huh?
Are you gonna edit this episode?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
just gonna go to Magic Clips and pull the clip.
Yeah, I'll be the one who has to actually edit.
Yeah, the AI thing where I can just type in gay.
Yeah, gay. Yeah. I'll be the one editing this video, so we'll see if you guys hear that gay tangent or not.
It most likely isn't happening.
No. But just know it happened. No one involved Mariah May and Liv Morgan. That's it.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride Month from all of us here at the FemSlam B-Sides. Actually, yeah, all of us at the FemSlam, because most of us... Are most of us? No. A good handful of us.
A lot of us, yeah.
Are limp-wristed, so... I'm gonna wrap this up. We gotta go. Toni texted me. It was like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch your guys' episode." Yeah.
Wait, who texted you?
Toni.
Oh.
Toni was like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch you guys' episode." And I was like,
"Yeah,
I'm not sure how much episode there's gonna be."
Look, with the amount that we're gonna have to cut from this, it might be 10 minutes.
Okay. So that is the end of our time today. We've hit on everything we need to talk about. Takeaways. Double or nothing. Yeah. Absolute movie. Absolute fucking movie.
Cinema.
Cinema. Cannot wait for All In.
And I'm gonna be there.
You are gonna be there.
We forgot to talk about that. Oh my god. I'm going to be there.
We have boots on the ground for All In.
I'm so excited.
Yay!
I'm also on the floor. So like I'm up close. Oh my god.
When All In comes around, make sure you look for Mads on the camera. Look for Mads on the camera. Most likely we'll be wearing that red Will Ospreay kit, won't you?
No, I'm wearing the baseball jersey.
Either way.
The baseball jersey and a cowboy hat.
Yeah, look for that on the camera.
Alright, bro.
Alright, so the main show usually does their fetches of the week. But we do male wrestler of the week, female wrestler of the week, and match of the week. So, Mads, I'll let you go first. Because I have a feeling I know what the answers are.
Okay. Male wrestler of the week, Hangman Page.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. We're getting to that finish line. This character development that he's done throughout the past few years to all culminate to this moment at Double or Nothing in the main event for the Owen Hart tournament final. So poetic. Nothing better. Which leads me into my match of the week being Will and Hangman. Because
Yep.
10s across the board. Like this is now one of those matches to where like if I think about a perfect wrestling match from start to finish, this is one of those matches that I'm thinking of. Like, there's just if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Please do. Oh my god, please do.
And then women's wrestler of the week.
Yes, ma'am.
Willow Nightingale.
I'm sure Meg would be very happy to hear that.
I feel like I have to put both Willow and Marina in that spot. Because they are the first two women to ever be a part of an Anarchy at the Arena match. And not only were they are. And not only were they the first two women to be in the Anarchy and the Arena match, but they had huge prevalent roles throughout the entirety of said match. So them being a big part of AEW history like that and sort of, you know, being this symbol of the new things that AEW is going to be incorporating with their women and their women's division moving forward. Super happy for them for that. Both of them absolutely deserve it. But that just, yeah. So Willow and Marina are my two women's wrestlers of the week.
That's fair. Well, my match of the week.
I wonder who you're going to say.
I'm starting with the match first. Shut up. My match of the week, or I guess the past 2 weeks, will be that Anarchy of the Arena match because it was just such beautiful chaos.
I'm sure. I'm so sure.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Back up. But it was just such beautiful chaos. And yes, my Death Riders lost, but I was hoping they would anyhow. So it's fine. They all got locked in an ambulance. They got out. Everything's fine. You know, I can't wait for when Toni decides he wants to actually do intergender matches, and he runs Gabe Kidd versus Willow Nightingale for the way that he disrespected her. Anyway, but yeah, just I could watch that Anarchy in the Arena match time and time again and never get bored.
I have already.
That real. But yes, as Matt so wonderfully pointed out, my male wrestler of the week is your new NXT North American champion, All Ego Ethan Page.
I knew it.
It's the way. Ethan popped up on SmackDown, and everybody on the FamSlam was like, "Where's Vio?" I'm sure Vio's very happy right now, and yes, I was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was falling asleep, heard Ethan's voice, and snapped to attention like a fucking dog. I snapped to, and everyone was very upset as to why they took it off of Ricky, just to give it to Ethan. But I do think.
Well, I don't know if you saw, sources came out saying that Ricky's going up to the main roster.
Yeah, I was getting into Ricky's moving on up. So, that's fine. I get more cocky Ethan Page as champion. And I love that for me. Him being depressed and not smiling was not a fun time for me. Was not a fun time. But my women's wrestler of the week, I probably will also have to go with Willow and Marina. Because one of the moments when you think of that Anarchy in the Arena match is Marina...
The lock on her ear.
And also the reveal for the Big Black and Jacked.
Big Black Jack, yeah.
I love it. I love those women to death. I can't wait till they also have their match against each other, because I know that's gonna absolutely bang. You know what? We talked about it before, a stipulation for those two. Another stipulation to bar everybody from ringside. I don't want the Death Riders getting involved in this at all. At all. I want it to just be Willow and just be Marina and just those two in the ring. Let them hoop. Bar everybody from ringside. But yeah, that's it for us today. You can find the FemSlam over on YouTube and Twitter. You can find me at Viral Vio on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. I think for Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, the I in Viral is a 1 and the O in Vio is a 0, but on YouTube it's just all letters. Mads, where can the people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms as Madison Lash with a Y in Madison, except for TikTok, which is Madison R Lash, but still the Y in Madison.
But yeah, that's all the time we have for today, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
And Happy Pride!
Happy Pride! Bye!